I knew the pressure that was on.
She could have continued doing something in what I would call her comfort zone in the sport of triathlon.
And when she sets her mind to something, she's not afraid to nail the colors to the mast.
Okay, run. Run some more. Okay, thank you. Hi.
I'm told that from a very young age, I just could not get out of the pool. And it was something that I loved. I loved going there.
My parents had a swimming pool, and so in the summer we were at the pool just about every day. Growing up, we did do a lot of outdoor things.
Mom and Dad are just mom and dad. They're super supportive, super hardworking, amazing individuals. They've never pushed results. They've never cared how I did, but they were always there for me.
She was actually kind of a quiet kid. Some of her competitive nature just wasn't revealed right away.
Upbringing in Wisconsin, that's a big question.
When I think about Wisconsin in the Midwest, people there are humble, people there work hard, they don't do anything fancy, and they don't brag about it.
Somewhere with very little encouragement or direction from us, she picked up those values of humility and modesty and, avoiding bragging about her accomplishments.
I had what I think is just a normal life. Our family was very active.
We take hard work for granted, doing things with family. That's part of what people in Wisconsin do.
Her parents were really invested in her life and with what she was doing.
The way my parents raised me, I never thought I was going to be an Olympian. They weren't trying to raise me to be this athlete. They never tried to coach me.
Gwen's always been really close with her family. They would often actually come out to our training camps and spend some time with Gwen and come to a lot of her bigger races.
Katie was a better swimmer than me.
What do we got?
Katie was probably one of my very first best friends. She was on Waukesha Express swim team with me. She's someone who has really supported me and I think allowed me to become successful because she's been there through the times that have been really tough and she's also been there for the times that have been really successful and good.
When I first got to know Gwen, one of the things that I started understanding really quickly was just how dedicated she was to what she was doing, and it really was a lifestyle for her.
My parents told me that I came home from school with a sheet of paper that was like this Optimus swim meet, and I begged to do it, and they said, okay, yeah, we can do it, and I did that meet, and I was just like, I need to do more of this.
She went to that meet, she didn't get a ribbon that first time. She said, Dad, I gotta go to practice more often. I gotta get a ribbon.
For her, she just really loves swimming as a sport.
She was playing basketball for a while. She liked that, but her passion was swimming.
Swimming was my thing that I owned. It was something that was peaceful for me and something that really got me to work hard and just be really determined to try to accomplish a goal. I instantly joined the Wollongong Wizards and I was looking for somebody to be my friend and she was it. Charlotte was somebody who was just easy to train with. I remember we'd just go for runs together and something would click. We could talk easily, but also have silence.
I definitely really miss just being able to chat to Gwen about, I guess, life things. She was always willing to give her advice and her perspective, just a good person. Gwen and I both have many happy memories of training together in the Basque region in Spain. Where we were in Vitoria-Gasteiz is the most amazing place for training for triathlon.
After the 2012 Olympics, I realized that if I wanted to be the best in the world, I needed to be surrounded by a training group that was basically my direct competitors. That was something I knew I needed to do if I wanted to be winning medals at the Olympics.
When she joined our training group, there were quite a few of us a little bit younger than her. She treated us like we were her sisters, even though we were her training partners and we were her competitors. She was always incredibly kind and very generous with her experience and her thoughts and her advice.
I remember we had this perfect 6K running loop.
One of Gwen's favorite running places in the world was one of the parks that was just across from the apartments that we lived in.
It was a beautiful place with deer and other wildlife and beautiful grasses.
We used to run in there pretty much every single day on the same loop because it was just so beautiful.
Not only for her training, but kind of for her mental health. Just to have that there was good for her.
Honestly, the time in Spain and in the Basque region was some of my favorite time I've had.
Gwen and I have been together for 10 years now. It feels like it, went by like that. So yeah, quite a journey it's been.
Patrick is my husband, but he is my best friend, the person who, I would say the sole person who's allowed me to win gold in Rio. He gave up his career for me. He took care of me. He continues to take care of me.
Thinking about when I first met Gwen, she was really just getting into the sport of triathlon. I didn't really comprehend that Gwen was in the Olympic pipeline and she was trying to qualify for the Olympics, so had no idea of the scope and scale of what she was trying to achieve.
When I think of Gwen winning in Rio, I still get goosebumps thinking about it.
I remember the morning very well.
I personally felt a lot of anxiety. I knew the pressure that was on.
Gwen was the red hot favorite for the race.
She had done everything to prepare. she didn't waste 1 minute.
She had a lot of weaknesses and she had a lot of things that she really had to work on. To see the change from when she joined our training group at the end of 2012 to how she then competed, it's mind-blowing.
There was a time when she was on the bubble of getting dropped from that front pack on the bike. The Olympics for her was really in the balance.
When we got off the bike, we were all kind of together and we started running, and I remember Nicola Spirig, who had won gold the previous Olympics, was right with me.
Nicola just stayed with her. And so it was another 30 minutes of this anxiety, just wanting that win for her.
I remember when she finally broke away from Nicola on the run, relief was the biggest emotion that I felt.
For me, I finished that race and I felt relief, I felt joy, and I think mostly I just felt thankful for Patrick, who gave up his career to follow me and spend time in Europe and Australia. People like Charlotte McShane for pushing me in practice every day.
That moment when she crossed the finishing line in Rio where it all came out, you see that behind all of the pinpoint sharpness and focus, there's a very complex, emotional human being. I think Gwen is getting used to the modern approach to coaching, that collaborative approach where the athlete is the leader, the athlete is the compass.
There's just these little mental switches that Bobby has taught me throughout my career that have really changed who I was to who I am today and allowed me to have a winning mindset.
Almost makes me emotional to know how synergistic it feels when I work with Gwen.
She could have continued doing something in what I would call her comfort zone in the sport of triathlon. That wasn't something that excited her. She was looking for a new challenge and decided to see where her ceiling was in the sport of running.
I remember when it came out that in the media that Gwen was going to move over to running, and a lot of people questioned whether it was going to be possible.
Running, everybody keeps saying, running, it's just so simple. I think there are still those same X factors, I'll call it, with running that we're still trying to nail down. The last 5 years for her, frankly, just have not been easy. She hasn't had that same success that she had in triathlon.
I mean, Gwen always says that she enjoys a challenge. I think that motivates her to know that there's some potential that she has and it's unexplored and nobody thinks she can do it, and I think that motivates her to try even harder.
I feel at 35 like I'm an older athlete, but at the same time I've only been running for 6-7 years, and so I feel like a very green athlete when it comes to professional running.
You know, in the triathlon world, she was always the underdog. She was always coming from behind. Everybody else was better. Everyone else had more experience. She's replaying that now in marathon.
I think probably the biggest challenge would just be getting used to that running load. Obviously in triathlon, running is only 1/3 of the race.
She doesn't have all those years and years of miles in her legs.
If I could get, her stride rate moving up just a little bit more, just because of the marathon.
You can tell when Bobby designs a workout, he's thinking about the surface of the road, the hill of the road, the pitch of the road.
Bobby is very smart. He's very intelligent, he's very scientific, his approach is very numbers-based.
These are Gwen-specific workouts. This is Gwen-specific training.
Gwen is extremely precise. And when she sets her mind to something, she's not afraid to nail the colors to the mast.
As long as she can stay injury-free and is able to get that mileage in, I don't doubt that she'll be competitive.
Boulder is seen as this triathlon town.
Living in Boulder would certainly provide a lot of motivation to get out there and run. It's surrounded by the most beautiful mountains and an incredible amount of trails.
Being a mom has changed my life way more than winning a gold medal, and it's something that I'm way more proud of as well.
And Stanley likes riding his bike on the trail, so she can bring her family with her, and they can kind of do it together.
Once a week we always make pizza together, and it's something for me that I really enjoy because I need to be eating and recovering, and we can do that together, and we can make pizza together and have fun, and it's just a time for us to connect.
Her family growing up was a huge part of, trying to create that balance and, learning that you are more than just the sport that you're doing.
There is actually an outside world to just sport, and I think, athletes tend to get so caught up in, thinking that their world was everyone's world.
In her own words, now that Stanley's there, she can go to work and then she can come home and leave work, on the track. And Stanley's there to provide distraction, and she can figure out that there's more to life than just running fast.